everybody. Welcome, fact friends, to another Whispered Facts episode. And today, our topic is the state of Ohio in the United States of America. So first up, we have some general history about the state before jumping into the main facts portion of the video. So guys, get comfortable, lay back, relax, and let yourself drift away as I whisper facts about Ohio today. Archaeologists know that people have lived in the land now called Ohio for at least 13,000 years, thanks to discoveries such as some Ice Age ground sloth bones marked by human tools at least that old. Many thousands of years after these ancient hunters lived, other Native American tribes, including the Erie, Kickapoo, and Shawnee, lived on the land. The first known non-native person to reach the area was French explorer Robert de la Salle. And as always, I am not 100% sure about the pronunciation of some of these words, so I apologize if I mispronounce anything. But Robert de la Salle arrived around 1670. French fur traders followed and began to settle in the area. But in 1763, the British claimed the area after winning the French and Indian War. After the Revolutionary War ended in 1783, Ohio became part of the American territory. Ohio became the 17th state of the United States in 1803. The Ohio and Lake Erie Canal opened almost 30 years later and connected Lake Erie with the Ohio River. That made it much less expensive to ship goods from the east, so more settlers started arriving in the state. Most people from Ohio fought for the Union during the Civil War. Those who were against the war and refused to fight were called copperheads because they were thought of as poisonous snakes lying in wait to attack in favor of the South. Okay, so that was a brief paragraph on the history of the state, and now we have our main segment of facts about Ohio. Fact number 1. Ohio is known by many as the mother of presidents. This is because 7 US presidents originated from Ohio. Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James A. Garfield, Benjamin Harrison, William McKinley, William Howard Taft, and Warren G. Harding. Fact number 2. The capital of Ohio is the famous city of Columbus, boasting a population of more than 920,000 people. Columbus is by far the largest city in the state by population, with the next biggest being Cleveland, with a population of over 379,000 people. When I think about Ohio and what I previously knew about the state, I could probably name 2 cities, maybe even 3. So we have Columbus and Cleveland. And the third one that I could name is Cincinnati as well. I think they are the 3 biggest cities within the state. And they all begin with C as well, which is a happy coincidence, I guess you could say. I'm quite surprised at the population totals. However, they're a bit lower than I would have imagined, and there's a very large gap between the population of the largest city and the second largest. So yeah, in general, I am quite surprised about the population of the largest cities, but there we have it. Fact number 3. Situated in the middle of Lake Erie is Kelly's Island, where you will find Glacial Grooves State Memorial. The State Memorial is the largest easily accessible set of glacial grooves on the entire planet. These grooves were formed due to glacier movement dating back to the, and here's a word that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce because it looks far too difficult, but it is an era, and it is spelled Pleistocene. And, okay, let's have a go. Is it the Pleistocene era? That looks right, so we'll go with that. So they were dated back to the Pleistocene era, with the largest being 400 feet long, 35 feet wide, and 10 feet deep. Fact number 4. Ohio's name originates from a word from the Iroquois people's language, Ohio, which means Great River. Fact number 5. Ohio was admitted to the Union in March 1803, becoming the 17th official U.S. state. Ohio didn't get the presidential stamp of approval until President Dwight Eisenhower signed it off in 1953. he later backdated the declaration to the original date of 1803. Yeah, I believe that we learned part of this piece of information at the start of the video. So Ohio was admitted to the Union in March 1803 and the 17th official US state. Fact number 6. Ohio's famous nickname, the Buckeye State, was derived from the plethora of buckeye trees commonly found throughout the Ohio River Valley. The trees produce small nuts, brown in colour, that many believe resembles the eye of a deer. It is said by many that carrying one in your pocket will give you good luck. And I would love to know what percentage of the population of Ohio actually walk around with a nut from the buckeye tree in their pockets for luck. I think it would be quite amusing to know. Fact number 7. Ohio is home to some of the most revolutionary inventions in the world, not just the US. One of the most notable inventions was the cash register, making its debut in 1878 and invented by the Ohio native James Ritty. James was a saloon owner and had run into a problem with employees stealing money from the business. Very naughty indeed. So he came up with the ingenious idea of creating a machine that kept track of money transactions with the goal of discouraging theft from his employees. Fact number 8. The iconic Western classic, The Shawshank Redemption, was filmed at the Ohio State Reformatory, located in Mansfield, Ohio. The Shawshank Redemption, of course, is an iconic movie, and I have to admit, I haven't seen it in full. But much like The Godfather, which I mentioned in my Mafia Facts video, I gave it a shot, and I wasn't into it. I can't explain it, I just wasn't that interested in what was happening, and I did end up switching it off. And I'm sure it's a great movie. It has to be, because it's ranked so highly, but it just wasn't for me. That's all I can really say about it, and I hope that you guys don't hate me for it. Fact number 9. Ohio is home to the one and only Presidential Museum. This famous museum pays homage to John Hanson, who was the first ever president of the US. Fact number 10. Ohio doesn't just have a reputation for producing US presidents. The state has also created many NASA astronauts throughout the years as well, proving that the state has a rich talent pool that keeps on providing more and more influential people. There are 25 NASA astronauts from Ohio, including the first to have walked on the moon, Neil Armstrong, the first to orbit the Earth, John Glenn, the first woman to walk in space, Catherine D. Sullivan, and the first to take a spacewalk from the International Space Station, Michael L. Gernhardt. Fact number 11. Ohio is famous for its production of tomatoes, and more specifically, tomato juice. It is one of the US's main producers of tomato juice. And I have to say, I love anything to do with tomatoes, whether it's sauce, soup, whatever really. Tomatoes rule, in my opinion. But I think the real question is, are they a fruit or are they a vegetable? Let me know in the comments what you think. Fact number 12. Did you know that just over 50% of the US population lives within a 500-mile radius of Columbus, Ohio? Columbus enjoys one of the best locations in the US and is home to numerous trucking companies. Fact number 13. The Ohio River stretches over 981 miles, beginning at the confluence of Allegheny, and that's spelled Allegheny, and the Monongahela rivers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, those rivers are very difficult to pronounce. And finishing in Cairo, Illinois, where it finally flows into the Mississippi River and ends its journey. Fact number 14. The Ohio River flows through or borders 6 states in total: Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. In addition to these states, water from areas of New York, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama has somehow managed to find its way onto the Ohio River too. Fact number 15. Here is a list of cities that can be found along the Ohio River: Pittsburgh, East Liverpool, Wheeling, Parkersburg, Huntington, Ashland, Cincinnati, Louisville, Owensboro, Evansville, Henderson, Paducah, and Cairo. Fact number 16. The river's draining basin covers a total of 490,600 square kilometers. And fact number 17 is our final fact regarding the river, and it is as follows. The Ohio River provides drinking water for over 3 million people. Wow. It's quite a surprising fact, I think, and that's a lot of very, very thirsty people. Fact number 18. Ohio's population is over 11.69 million people, making the Buckeye State the 7th largest state in terms of population, closely followed by Georgia. And we come back to the discussion about population. Earlier I mentioned that I was fairly surprised that the largest city within Ohio had less than 1 million people, and equally so, I'm very surprised that with those sorts of figures, it's as high as the 7th most populated state out of the 50 states in the US. And I figured it may have been lower. I'm not exactly sure why, but there we go. Number 7 on the list in terms of population. Fact number 19. The state's first university, Ohio University, was founded in 1804 and was the first university established in the Northwest Territory, which is how people thought of the region back in the early 1800s. Fact number 20. Cleveland, Ohio, was the first city in the United States to successfully incorporate electric lighting all the way back in 1879. Fact number 21. When you take a look at each state's flags, you notice that they are all rectangular in shape, usually with colors and patterns that represent the state to some extent. However, Ohio's state flag is the only state flag to not be a rectangle in shape. It is an extremely unique design, and according to the Ohio State Flag Code, the flag is folded 17 times to represent Ohio being the 17th state to join the Union. And I really like the flag, I have to say. I was going to use the flag on the thumbnail, but I decided that it would be better to use the flag contained within the outline of the state on the map, and I think it looks good. But that is a really cool fact, and it's the only state flag that isn't rectangular. I think that's really fascinating, and I'm glad that I've learned this particular fact today. And the flag actually reminds me a little bit of the flag of Nepal, if you've ever seen that particular flag. Fact number 22. The European explorers first arrived in Ohio back in the 1670s, led by French explorer René Robert Cavelier. During this time, the French settlers soon discovered a multitude of Native American tribes still inhabiting the area. Fact number 23. Before pursuing what has been an eventful and illustrious television career, Jerry Springer was the 56th mayor of Cincinnati. He even considered running for Senate at one point. However, he was concerned that his show's somewhat negative reputation would ruin his chances. And I don't know what to make of the Jerry Springer show, to be honest. It's partly fun, partly ridiculous, I want to say. I think I enjoyed it years ago in small doses, but I wouldn't watch it now. I don't actually know if they still make the show, but it is what it is. If you're into that sort of thing, it was good for a laugh sometimes. And I remember it being on TV here late at night through the summer. One year, probably, I don't know, 15 years ago maybe. And I was quite young at the time, and yeah, I enjoyed it at that period in my life. Fact number 24. Cedar Point is a famous amusement park situated in the town of Sandusky, Ohio. You can find the amusement park sitting on a 364-acre piece of land next to Lake Erie. The park is the second oldest amusement park that is still in operation in the entire nation. And fact number 25, we have some information here about the wildlife in Ohio. Black bears, coyotes, bobcats, American beavers, and white-tailed deer are some of Ohio's most common mammals. Ring-necked pheasants, wild turkeys, great horned owls, red-headed woodpeckers, blue jays, and American robins are among the approximately 350 species of birds spotted throughout the state. Ohio's reptiles include the black racer, a non-venomous snake that's also the state reptile. Other reptiles include the Lake Erie water snakes and woodland box turtles. Amphibians like western chorus frogs, red-spotted newts, and American toads all hop through the state. So yeah, a wide variety of wildlife, as you would expect, throughout the state of Ohio. Fact number 26. Cleveland's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is filled with music artifacts like Elvis Presley's car, Jimi Hendrix's couch, and John Lennon's glasses. Oh wow, that sounds really cool. I love this fact. And this is maybe my personal favourite fact of the video so far. It sounds like somewhere that would be absolutely fascinating to visit, even just once in your life. Fact number 27. The Ohio and Erie Canalway is a National Heritage Site that stretches 110 miles. Visitors can drive it, hike it, or take the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad, a 3-hour trip with stops along the way. Fact number 28. At Cincinnati's National Underground Railroad Freedom Center, visitors can learn about the Underground Railroad, a network of people who helped bring enslaved people to freedom in the early to mid-1800s. And that is one for the history buffs there, I think. No doubt an interesting place to visit, with plenty of things to learn about. The Cincinnati National Underground Railroad Freedom Center. That is a bit of a mouthful. So that is our main portion of facts complete for the video. But I have a few quick fire facts to share just to finish up, and we'll run through these real quickly. So first of all, Ohio has the largest Amish population of any state in the nation. The Amish community really is fascinating to me, and I'd love to learn more about it in a future video. The first full-time automobile service station opened in 1899 in Ohio. Oberlin College, founded in 1833, was the first interracial and co-educational college in the United States. Women are prohibited from wearing patent leather shoes in public in Ohio. The reason is so that men can't see reflections of the women's underwear in their shoes. Okay, this is now my favourite fact of this video. It's just about as random as it gets, and I love it. Some well-known personalities were born in Ohio. Among them are Steven Spielberg, Paul Newman, Annie Oakley, Arsenio Hall, and Clark Gable. You can take tours of a house made entirely of trash, affectionately referred to as House of Trash, in Philo, Ohio. And I wonder, does it smell? Probably not. I imagine that it might if it's made of trash. The first airplane was invented by the Wright brothers, who were natives of Dayton, Ohio. monster, known as Bessie, is a so-called serpent-type monster that lives in Lake Erie, with many supposed sightings over the decades. The New York Times even did a story on it in 1931. That's funny because the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland is known as Nessie, and here the Lake Erie Monster is known as Bessie, so they must be related. Well guys, that is just about it for this Whispered Facts episode on the state of Ohio in the USA. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button down below, drop a comment to help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so for plenty more content like this in the near future. And if you want to see more facts about places, check out the description and you'll find the playlist there, as well as other relevant information. But a huge thank you for joining me today, and until next time, rest easy, sleep well, and I hope to see you again very soon for another video. And goodbye for now.